Meeting to order. Any declarations of conflict of interest? Okay. Can I get an approval of the agenda? Yes?
Just before we approve the agenda, am I able to add an item under the closed session if we're going to closed?
Certainly. Fine with me.
That would be done at the closed session.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so the minutes are here in your package if you had a chance to read them. If we can, from the April 30th meeting, I can have an approval on those minutes. Moved by His Worship.
I will move them.
Seconded by Deputy Mayor Cody. Any business arising from those minutes? All right, we'll move right on then to the discussion items. So our first one is the Youth Engagement Committee, and the membership, the member resignation is attached. And what do we need to do? Come up with another person? Yeah, okay. So,
So Madam Chair, do we reopen it?
I don't
Or
know.
we just go back to the list?
It depends what you want to do on the other committees. Your Worship, if you plan to advertise for any of these committees, we can do that all at the same time.
Okay.
So how many does that leave in that committee?
There's one for youth engagement, but I think the mayor's task force on active transportation, we have to replace two there.
Correct.
So you need two there and one on youth.
Is there another one?
Well, my question was like, how many are on the active transportation now?
We're trying to have all committees at 7.
Seven, right? So they have quite a few anyway, do that.
They just have, this will be the only vacancy.
The mayor's task force and active transportation is further down the agenda if you want to discuss it.
But anyway, so youth engagement, we're gonna advertise it for another person.
I would suggest, what you think, guys? Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we want to bring it up to 7, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean,
7, and then this would be advertising for youth engagement and
And
the active transportation,
Okay.
right?
Or you want to just go back to the group that we just had? You know,
or actually, yeah, there you go.
just use the roster we have?
We draw from the previous list.
I think we have a time frame, but we'll check, if we're not beyond that time frame, then we'll
Just make it faster.
check and see. I think there was a time frame.
There's only a year and a half left in the term.
It is, right.
Yeah, maybe that might be the best.
So the list that we had for the youth engagement, we'd have to get that list back, look it over. And do we have one for mayor's task force? We didn't go out.
No, I don't think we did for that.
No. So do you want to go back, Councillor Duffy, back to the original list? Because we didn't do another column for the,
No,
That list will be up to date, right? That's it.
just have it slicker. You know, faster.
slicker to just go back to
Yeah.
what we have?
There's only a year and a half left in our term here. It may take us half a year to do it if we start to advertise. You know how it goes.
okay,
We'll have a special meeting on these couple of committees.
okay,
So I'd like to-
great. So we won't wait a month then, we'll have a special meeting to,
Yeah.
We'll just
okay.
get the list back,
Yeah.
right, Tracy?
Okay. So then we really covered A and D.
Yeah.
Well, the D is more so just a clarification, follow-up for the terms of reference, because that was sent back.
I meant A and E, sorry. No, I didn't. Well, yeah, because there's two, well, there was two, we also though had to get two new board,
For the active transportation, yes.
right,
So that-
okay. Okay, so do we want to leave B until the end when we move into closed session? If everyone's okay, we can move to C next. So we've got terms of reference here for the planning and heritage as well as strategic priorities and intergovernmental cooperation. We were supposed to send these out for review. I know we didn't get any feedback from planning and heritage.
So, if I recall last time, Madam Chair, the issue was housing leaving strategic and going to planning. The manager of planning already sits on that seat on behalf of the city, and so we're just asking to incorporate that in their terms and taking out of the strategic terms.
Everyone good with that?
Yeah.
the changes in, were there any other changes in the strategic priorities and intergovernmental? That was it, wasn't it? It was just the one thing, yeah? Okay. Well, if everyone's good with that, we can move on to Mayor's Task Force and Active Transportation's Terms of Reference update.
Summarize, Madam Chair, the request from the Mayor's Task Force on Active Transportation. Views it, and that committee agreed that it would be best to go, if there's a public works issue, that the recommendation would go directly to public works, or if it was a police issue, that recommendation would go to police. That way, instead of coming to, putting the item on the agenda for the Environment Sustainability Committee, it's just adding another step to it. The step, I think what we're trying to do is short circuit the steps so that issues can be addressed immediately, instead of waiting for one committee to look it over, then another committee to look it over.
Well, I guess that's kind of jumping our system though, is it not, Mr. Mayor? It's like the Civic Board of Persons with Disabilities or something, Public Works, well, they're not going to be going to finance with a request to get funding put in.
Good point.
Right? Where, you know, environment, especially with active transportation, because environment and public works work so close together anyway. Scott and Ramon would have to kind of, so I don't know, just like, you know, they do report to environment, and I would think the environment committee should weigh in on whether or not they're way over left field on something that shouldn't be wasting police's time, or, you know, I mean, I don't know.
Mr. Chair, Madam Chair, I think the task or the request are task oriented.
I know they are.
It's not about a policy issue. For example, there's one issue that installing signs at the, not Frank McCauley Park, but the Co-op Diamond Park, where we have the new active transportation pathway, is to ask Parks and Recreation to put up signage that dogs are not to go out in this area unless they're leashed. So the signage is an issue with Parks and Recreation. So why send that through environment sustainability? Then environment sustainability has to report it to Parks. It would be easier if there's a direct link. And that, Mr. Chair, or Madam Chair, breaks down those silos that we work in sometimes. And I don't think you're going to see a flood of recommendations going out to these different departments or committees, because one committee is looking at it, looking it through a different lens. The point that you made with the Civil Disabilities Committee, that's right. They have, you know, concerns that they want to bring up.
Right.
They bring it through the committee.
Right.
And then the committee could go directly to police if it's a police issue, or it could be a parks issue, or any other issue that relates to one of the standing.
Yes, I don't know, I just have a little bit of a problem of a committee just loose cannon being able to go ask whatever they want. I mean, Ramona and the environment should be signing off on those things. That's all. It's protocol for me. Is that then, you know, why have any of the standing committees report to anyone then if they're able to just go ask?
Yeah.
That's
So
my question.
Doug Dumais is he's the administrative person.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the committee going through. It would be Doug writing up a proposal to go to Public Works or Parks and Recreation or Police to address this particular issue. Not the committee, the task force going out and meeting with the standing committees.
It's just my question. Well, why?
No, it's a good point.
I'm just asking, well, like, if you're going to let one committee do that, then how do you stop the others?
Well,
Just, like,
then that would be up to the administrator
Right.
for each of the committees to forward that on. It's like What's the Parks and no, the Seniors Committee has, she works Parks and Recreation. Grant, yeah. So she'll take recommendations from that committee, go to Parks and Rec, if it has to go to Public Works, instead of going back through, is that committee's report to you, or does that report to Parks and Recreation?
Parks and Rec.
Yeah, instead of going through Parks and Recreation, she makes the direct contact. I think, you know what, Councilor McLeod, it just streamlines it. And I don't see an abuse happening here, it's just, they think that some of the work they're doing, just let's get it going. And I think the administrator, in this case Doug DeMay, would be responsible to pass on that message to whatever line department is responsible for the area we're talking about. Is that all we've been, Chair?
Everyone good with that?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So we just have one item left on the agenda, and that is a discussion around the external board appointments. Is that something that we move into closed session on?
I'll move.
All right. All right.
Do we know what 119 section, what's it?
The HR needs to be your.
D, okay.
Good.
All righty.